morning, everyone. I'm Joseph Kleida for AscensionPathway.com on the Evan Fain YouTube channel. Bringing another edition of grid work, geoengineering, climate engineering on a daily basis. Today's Sunday, July 17th, 2016. We should be in full monsoon mode, which we're not. But I'm showing you the little morning Medusa we got in this eastern sector. And we already know for this to happen, they had to be spraying early and during the night, because this usually doesn't happen until at least late afternoon. We got the whole sky pretty well covered up. Some fluff, some not. Mostly just chemtrail plume that's just dispersed into the white aerosol haze. Eastern sector, pretty well hazed up. You can see the soot just falling out of the sky already. Pretty sad. Here's that section between the trees in the northern sector. Usually has something brewing, but all we got is just hazy soot. But this guy railing it up. Look at the size of that rail. Right over top the existing plume as they try to get this monsoon thing going. You turn the camera around here, and then you can see the rest of him here blowing the plume as he's inside that existing mess of toxic waste. And he's inside that plume. It's nasty too. Let me zoom right in there and show you how deadly that is. He's up above the existing soot, so this layer is going up, well, it's hard to tell. Some of it's above, some of it's below as the soot starts to fall from the sky, but he's lost inside that soot now. Here's that existing rail I just showed you a few minutes back in the previous segment. We got another railer right next to him with double rails, filling our skies with toxic plume. And he's inside there as we speak. You're going to be seeing a lot more of it as they try to monsoon it. And almost looks like he's got a shadow rail next to him there. But you can see how toxic that is. And when that disperses, because this one still hasn't dispersed. It's been about half an hour. Look at that rail. Wow. In the midst of the already toxic sky. I'm inside the rec center getting my work on. I couldn't resist this guy blowing this rail. Let me take it right down at the bottom. This is where he started. He came out of that plume there, sprayed it up into that plume. It's already existing plume. See how covertly they're doing this. See how covertly they're doing this. It's a rail. You can see it. Just finished my workout, but I want to show you some more hidden rails. Look at this. Look how this guy covertly laid the Christmas tree bulb effect plume inside there. A little blurry, but you can still make it out. It's faded somewhat. Well, they got the Harper thing going. The HARP device. You can see the finned work over here. These are already thinning. Over here you got some kind of wild fins breaking apart into probably smaller fins. A lot of finned work up in here. A lot of plume. Man, they've been really spraying covertly as they got the cloudoids to fluff up, as they try to manipulate it into a monsoon season. But there you can see a little panoramic view of what's in our skies. Do you remember when I shot this rail? Look at it now. It's all Medusa sizing out into wisps. So when you see that in the sky, you know it's not any type of precipitation, cloud, anything. It's chemtrail plume. It's 3:30 in the afternoon on Sunday. The climate engineers were out spraying. We showed you the damage they've done. Still cloudoid right over top of me, turning gray already on the bottom. Breaking apart over here on the edge. It's all going to be breaking apart. Pan over here, they got another fluff going over there. It looks pretty good, a fluff job. And then you got this, where all the chemtrails have just broken apart. A couple of cloudoid bombs over here, you can tell. The gray on the bottom. Look at that. Huh. No rain, no monsoon. Soot breaking apart there. White bomb there, just all soot. No fluff to it anymore. White soot over there with cloudoids embedded in there, down at the bottom. Same thing, time after time. And yet, you watch TV, and your weather people think this is normal. They'll even show this in the background. TV's really getting out of hand too. Every commercial shows a aerosol-filled sky. Look at this trifecta here. Actually, there's 4. If you look close enough. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We got the northern sector. A lot of cloudoids really embedded in that aluminum soot. And it's really dark on the bottom. Really dark. If they do manage to make it rain, that's where it's going to happen right there. If you can really call it rain, like we've mentioned many times before. Is it really rain anymore? Or is it just toxic waste? Destroying everything. You can see how badly the trees have been destroyed. And this is everywhere, just not in any one state. This is going on, part of the global program. Thought I'd step outside a bit, see if I could catch some guys pluming it up. We just got some two-tone cloudoids there. You can see the 2 different toxins mixing in. A couple different blends of the plumes. Straight above me, black soot starting to fall. White soot falling just about everywhere. As all these little things break apart. Look at that, once great fluffed up cloudoids are nothing but, what do you see? I don't even have a name for it anymore. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. Look at that back there in that northern sector. So hoping to catch somebody blowing a rail or two, but unfortunately it's not the case right now. Checking out the soot in this western sector, and I found this. And what do you think this is? Yeah, it's a hidden rail. A little dispersed, so it came apart right there. But the rail nonetheless, if you follow it in there, you can still see remnant. But that soot just falling out of the cloudoids. That's what people don't seem to understand. Because it's been getting like this for a number of years now, so people just think it's normal. Well, it's not normal. It's not even normal to think that this is normal. Look at this one's already all collapsed already. And it'll turn black. It's still in the area in a little bit. This is pretty interesting. Look at this. Look at these wisps. How they're wisping from the top to the bottom right there. Can you see that? Isn't that wild looking? Huh. We always see something new when they get into these spraying days. There's usually something really exciting. Not good exciting, just exciting to see as the people just display their stupidity in keeping this in a denial mode when it's just as obvious as it can be. I found a hidden rail. Look at this right there. Look at the dispersion. We already know because we documented this dispersion pattern for over 2 years, if not longer. Eastern sector turning it into euphumbuses. And a whole sector full of those if they collapse right. That looks like a pretty good euphumulus right there. Some of these are finned, already black. Northern sector, always, well not always, but majority of the time there's something brewing back there. Look at this rail this guy left through here. Looks like a tanker plume. See, right from the cloudoid, see that? And then look at this. Almost as if there was a secondary railer who came shooting in through there. But get a look at that rail as he led it right into the other cloud height. They're just connecting the dots. Silver soot up here, almost to the gray variety. Just happened to notice right through here. I'll drive you through and show you another hidden rail. And there it is. So they covertly have been spraying these rails. Look at the soot. As the moon starts to fill up, we get closer to the full moon. Doesn't that look like an egg? Egg sitting in soot. But just look, everything's turned black. Got some pinkage up here. Still some fluff too. Hell, that may even turn into a euphumulus later. Look, you got white and then pink with the charcoal and then the black soot on the bottom. These all busted off. Pretty purplish. Right above me, there's a pretty good shield they built up. Look at the edge of that grid. That's just the edge. Okay. And this is how wide it goes. See, it's almost it looks like it's this could possibly turn into a Medusa. And what do I see up here? Check it out. Friggin' hidden rail. What's a rail, you ask, for people who don't know? A rail is the expulsion of the chemtrail plume through the nozzles. Looks like a railroad track, so we call them rails. Doesn't matter how big or how small, it's just when it comes out, it's a rail. But they railed that up pretty good. You can see the couple different layers. See it? See the layers? Soot on the side. Pretty nasty, isn't it? Look at the lighter stuff over here. Here's the rest of that rail where it ends. Turned it off, then he spewed just a little bit more there. And then I don't see it anywhere else. Look how low that black soot is there compared to the white up here. You can see how low that is. And it's still holding together. That's the sad thing about it. It's still holding together. When that breaks apart, it's going to come down hard. Kind of like this back in there. So you look at the top, not too bad, just a little bit of soot. Any soot isn't a bad thing. Look how thick that is back in there. Wow. Glad I grasped for this before I had it in. X marks the spot. Look, it's still not dispersing like it usually should. So what's ever in these mixes, I mean, this is just incredible here. It almost looks like it's a Medusa hatching. And boy, if it does collapse and feather out, that's going to be one wild Medusa. Got somebody. He's low, but he's not blowing any plume yet. Huh. Interesting. But he's setting into that gray mess there. Looks like I got a red bad boy somewhere in here. There he is. And look, looks like he's got a little intermediate mix that he's blowing now. See that? Got him just in time. Nasty rail, then he turned it off. No, he's still spewing. He's still going. Heads into the plume. Good morning, it's about 1:45. So it's almost noon. I'm Joseph Kleider with AscensionPathway.com. On the Evan Fain YouTube channel, bringing you another edition of Gridwork, geoengineering, climate engineering on a daily basis. Today's Monday, July 18th, 20 and 16. They sprayed pretty much most of the night. Got a little hole in the grid there, but right above me. can see it's already gray. As I push into that western sector, look how dark they've already gotten it. They couldn't make it rain yesterday, so they're trying their damnedest to do it today. Unfortunately, or surprisingly, I've only heard a couple of jets spraying over top of this plume. Well, we'll see what happens the rest of the day. Just stepped outside about 3:15 in the afternoon and caught this guy sneaking this rail through here. They're just not going to give it up as they covertly keep on spraying. And there he goes down here. Here's the end of him. See? Yep. Consistently spraying. Got a lot of fluff up in that eastern sector. Look how white that is on the top. Got that pretty well bleached out. As I pan around the southern sector, it's already, they've got so many layers. And into the west, it looks like they've already got it somewhat geoengineered over there in that southwestern sector. Look at the chunks over here. Look at the different layers they've got. It's so friggin' thick. Look at this guy. You have rail over here as well. Hidden rail. See, they're just going to continue and continue and continue to keep on spraying. Nice rail through there. That's that same rail. If you follow it, it goes all the way down. That's one nasty rail. It's almost 5 p.m. and I just want to show you this soot here. Look how it's just all medusa-sized already. It's almost as if it's hatching a baby medusa out of this once was a fluffed up cloudoid. You can see, still fluffed a little bit on the edge there. And over here you can see the soot. It's already mixing with the white with the black, and it's all gonna fall. Got some beautiful fluffs back there. Only hole in the grid is right there. They got from the northern sector all the way into the western sector. Just panning around, even though the sun is out, there's not really much of a hole in the grid. But in that western sector, we got some soot. And it's just pouring out of the sky. And here's the hole. That's all we got. I'm in my front yard about 6:30 p.m. I looked up and I caught this little hidden rail in there. Yeah, got a hidden rail. Nobody's paying any attention. You can see what's happening here. Freaking Euphumulus is back there. Look at that one. Got one above it. A couple more that are going to turn into Euphumuluses. Gray matter up in here in these cloudoids. They're not even cloudoids, we know. Soot right above me. Little patch of black orange peel. I don't even know if you're going to make that out in there or not. The rest of the sky is pretty well gray with a little tiny hole there. As well as back over here we got a little bit. But as I pan back over, here's the rest of that rail. Alright, now look back down here. He came out of that cloudoid, sprayed it up into that mess. We back it off and came through it. And the rest is right there. And if this wasn't here, you'd see the rest of it. And I'm showing you right now. Look at there. There's the rest of the rail as they covertly keep spraying it up and spraying it up. Look at that fresh rail right into the heart of that soot. 7:30 eastern sector, you see what's happening here. Color change, soot falling, chunks coming out of different layers. Oh man. Panning all the way around. We got a little blue, if you call it blue, like we said before. With that western sector, they got it pretty thick. And look at the different color over here. Look at this. Wow. Look at this. Huh. Interesting, huh? Yeah, it is.